I don't know who you think of when you hear the name Xavier, but I think of Xavier the Renegade Angel. It was a weird show that used to come on at like 4 a.m. on Adult Swim, so many people don't even know about it. It's a super strange show that used to make me uncomfortable if I stayed up long enough to see it come on. So today I decided to expose some of the weirdest, grossest, most deranged things that this nasty half bird, half donkey man has done. From bullying disabled kids and telling them to stand up out of their wheelchairs to violating store owners with his nasty feet. This is the deranged truth of Xavier the Renegade Angel. Now, if you're someone who's familiar with Xavier the Renegade Angel, you probably know what kind of stuff we're going to be talking about today. But if you're not familiar, I would recommend opening up your mind a little bit because it can get a little gruesome with this weird bird donkey. So if you are a little bit on the side, then I think this might not be for you, but the thumbnail literally says fucking baby eater, so I don't know why you clicked the video anyway. Xavier's first episode perfectly encapsulates what the entire series is about, which is literally nothing other than a bird donkey nigga with 6 nipples going from town to town harassing people. Literally the only thing that this dude got going for him is the fact that he has a snake hand. Other than that, he's just a fucking loser who walks around in the desert playing his weak ass flute all day and looking for the answer to a question that he asks every episode.
What doth life?
Which don't even make sense since doth means do. What do life?
Huh?
Some rednecks throw a beer bottle at him and break his guitar. And only 49 seconds into his first episode, Xavier shows us how gross he is.
Please, I'm just a simple seeker. You're gonna regret that.
This is the only nasty ass nigga on earth to beat a redneck in a gross off. And he not even mad that he got spit on, he just mad that they shattered his weak ass shakashuri.
My shakashuri.
The rednecks are flaming the fuck out of Xavier and he don't know how to respond.
You've shattered my shakashuri.
I hope y'all can play it 3 feet up your ass.
Dunno, but I'd sure like to try.
What?
That shit sucks! Damn!
The redneck don't take too kindly to Xavier talking crazy on his block. So he hit his dumb ass with a Daniel LaRusso from Karate Kid kick. Like, what do you think Xavier thinking in this moment? The rednecks beat the fuck out of Xavier, so he don't want no more in real life smoke. So he found a computer so he can talk shit on online games. But because he's a nasty ass bird that roams the desert all day, he gives the computer a virus. We're 2 minutes and 49 seconds into Xavier's first episode, and he's already licked spit and gave a computer a virus. A woman approaches Xavier wondering if he's okay. She's gonna regret that later.
I suppose you'll be wanting to hear my story.
What? Actually, I have to get going.
Life. You could say it started when I was a kid.
So Xavier tells her his weak ass life story about how apparently his dad is Silver Surfer. And I forgot to tell y'all that Xavier the Renegade Angel is Marvel. He tells her everything from how the other kids used to beat his ass and call him names like dweeb, chimp, honky, dweeby chimp, honky dweeb, and worst of all,
Chomsky honk.
And I'm not gonna lie, this shit should be considered a crime because if you ever had to sit through someone's life story in real life, you know that shit is trash.
Did you know there's over 87 combinations of those soul scalding words? I found out the hard way. Life. Adolescent.
Alright, I know you be eating boogers and shit, but this is way worse because he ate someone else's boogers. The rednecks from earlier drive by with a truck full of computers that they fitting to go dump in the lake. When he gave that computer a virus earlier, the virus infected every computer in the town. The rednecks throwing every single fucking computer inside of the town into the lake now because they don't fuck with the virus. Meanwhile, this fucking weirdo followed the woman he met earlier home and is now watching her shower. But the computer virus got into the water and started taking over her body as he was watching her. And we're not gonna act like him being a peeping Tom don't matter just because it helped them figure out there was a virus.
Water. The computer virus. It's in the lake. The virus is in the water.
Xavier gets an idea that the only way to stop the computer virus is to give it a human virus. So he goes to the military and gets a big ass bottle of Prime, but on his way to dump the Prime inside of the lake to stop the computer virus, the rednecks from earlier stop him in his path.
Can all fret not. I have the cure right here.
Cure? Give me that! Curelicious.
Is it working? Yeah, Cliff.
Curelicious. Is that you, Grandma?
Because the rednecks drunk the prime that he was going to use to stop the virus, Xavier has to find another way to save the town. He tries talking to the virus through the woman from earlier's computer, but that just makes the virus start tweaking out harder. Xavier's chief appears and tells him that he gotta play a Shaka Shuri song to soothe the virus. But the rednecks broke his Shaka Shuri. So will Xavier A, get a new Shaka Shuri using his powers, B, go to the town over and buy a new Shaka Shuri, or C, use a piece of wood as a Shaka Shuri? Comment your answer down below, no cheating. Alright, let's see what he did.
You must tame the beast with your soul-soothing song. I've got to cobble together a makeshift Shaka Shuri to tame a certain beast. See yourself out.
So instead of comedically breaking into a window at a Shaka Shuri store, he fatalities the dog and then rips off the woman from earlier's arm. Look, PS2 rednecks is one thing, but animals, I don't care if it's PS2, Nintendo 64, nigga, don't hurt animals. This nigga's a fucking scumbag. I don't care if he is supposed to be funny.
That's gonna be. That music. So soothing, returning, restoring.
My arm!
Just needed a hand to tame the beast.
After that, Xavier grabs the reality trick, shots it into his mouth, and eats it, and the episode ends. But y'all not ready to have this conversation. And if you think we're done there, we still got a lot to talk about. Like the time Xavier wandered into Phoenix, Arizona. Inside of Phoenix is a mom with her hella babies. She's got hella babies. That's like 9 babies.
Each of my little pumpkins gonna get a turn with mommy on the slide. Starting with my most favorite.
My God, what brand of monster would abandon a childling?
So Xavier started fucking tweaking out, thinking that the babies have been abandoned, even though their mom is right there. And also, look how close this nigga was. There's no way he didn't just see her talking to the babies. Finding the babies make him have a flashback to when his father abandoned him on the side of the road. So he snatches up all of her babies and takes off running in his weak-ass New Balance shoes. And he drops his weak-ass Blues Clues journal as well. Yeah, go ahead and fucking add kidnapper.
Where's my babies? My babies!
Alright.
After that nasty ass shit, Xavier decides to store the babies inside of the sewers.
I'll be dividing my love into 7 equal sections or love quadrants. Each quadrant will be worth 15 love units. Collect 35 love units. You can trade those in for a beach towel with my face on it.
The mom that Xavier took the babies from is right outside of the sewers looking for her babies. And Xavier just being an asshole.
Keep it down, lady. We got families around here.
Ah! Have you seen my babies? I lost 7 of my babies!
Tragic. I've got septuplets myself. I don't know what I'd do if I lost them. Good thing I'm a responsible parent. You should try it sometime.
Look at this nigga's smug ass face. The audacity of this nigga. We need to bring that redneck back to life. Like, I understand that this nigga isn't self-aware or something, or he's like extremely dumb. But if you can come up with a plan like using a real virus to stop a computer virus, then I'm sure there has to be enough knowledge in there to put 2 and 2 together. What is the fucking chance of a woman losing 7 babies at the same time you find 7 babies?
Now who wants lunch? Go on, youngins. Suckle at the teat of my good intentions.
What do I even call that shit? Put that shit on the board somehow. During this gross ass feeding session, Xavier notices that one of the babies are unaccounted for. His snake hand says, "I'll handle that," and then eats the baby. And not in a, "Oh, let's just squeeze his stomach, then the baby will come out" way. In a, "Wow, the baby is being digested" way.
And I have to say, I feel the child's spirit percolating in my veins.
Xavier goes to look for the mom of the babies, not because he wants to give the babies back, but because he wants to date her. He walks outside and sees a sign about the 7 missing babies. So now bird donkey nigga thinks he's a detective and tells her that he has a lead on the people who stole her babies.
Those sickos who stole your baby left a ransom note.
They told me you weren't real! They said you were a nightmare.
Not real, huh? Is this a nightmare? A nightmare?
So yeah, Xavier broke into her house and started breaking all of her furniture, then kissed her against her will. Go ahead and add super amphibian and breaking and entering. Xavier wants to know the last place that she's seen her babies, and she tells him that it was the park. So he goes to the park and starts looking for clues.
Sense it. The sick bastard smells like my ass. Smells exactly like my ass.
Detective Shithead is extremely close to uncovering this case. He finds a notebook that looks exactly like the one he dropped earlier, which just so happens to have a drawing of a snake bird donkey nigga that says Mr. Cool on it. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we're extremely close to figuring out who kidnapped the babies. Xavier is extremely worried because he thinks that the kidnapper might be in the immediate area, so he goes back to the sewer to make sure the babies are still there.
Dad is home. Who's hungry?
I never thought you'd ask. Snake says wolfing down, eh, baby?
Aha! Got it. Ooh.
So Xavier's snake hand ate yet another baby.
Oh, my son! And my other son! I'm over it. I feel like a million love units.
So Xavier instantly gets over the death of the two babies, and then he randomly spawns in some bloodhounds to try to sniff out the kidnapper.
I brought bloodhounds. We're gonna track down the napper. We just gotta let them get the scent of your remaining baby. Get the scent, boys. Now go get him, boys.
I should have added this the first time that a snake ate a baby, but we're gonna go ahead and add murderer. This nigga gonna shrug his shoulders and look at her as the dogs maul her last baby.
My God, the dogs are going right into my hidden lair. That means the baby napper must be in there now. I've got him cornered.
Xavier has the kidnapper cornered inside of the sewers now. Xavier is yelling at the kidnapper inside of the sewers, and the kidnapper is yelling back.
I got you now. Got you now. He doesn't have me. I got him trapped. You're trapped. You're trapped.
Police! Who's in there?
The cops are gonna think that these are the missing babies.
Xavier doesn't want the cops to think that he's the one who stole the babies. So will he A, explain the situation to the cops, B, go out and steal more babies, or C, eat the cops with his snake hand so that way no one has to suffer? Comment your answer down below, no cheating, and subscribe while you're down there. Now let's see what he did.
The snake offers to get rid of the evidence.
Do what you gotta do. I don't wanna look.
No! My baby!
There goes that snake again.
You found me, the Everchild.
So Xavier eats the remaining babies and then eats himself and becomes some shit called the Everchild. But the government don't give a fuck. They still take his stupid ass to jail and even put him onto the electric chair. When they electrocute the Everchild, it turns into an egg and then Xavier pops out of the egg.
Thank fate, yes, I'll be moseying on. Sorry, babe, I'm a rambler. Close your mouth, dear. You catch more flies with honey than with bad breath.
Then Xavier starts roaming through the desert again and the episode ends. Lucky for you though, this video isn't ending. Subscribe! And because this nigga is such a scumbag, before we move on, we gotta give him a new page where we won't be able to fit all his crimes. But don't worry, we'll go over all of his crimes at the end of the video when we sentence his stupid ass to life in jail. Spoiler alert, I mean, what did you think he was gonna get? Freedom? Parole, nigga? So per usual, Xavier is roaming through the fucking desert, playing his stupid ass Shaka Shuri, when he roams into a town and notices some kids hanging out with their disabled friend. And Xavier just starts trashing the kid in the wheelchair for no reason.
He probably can't tell you're mocking him. He's obviously slow.
Robbie's not slow. He's a genius.
Well, he's got a funny way of showing it.
So even though Xavier is clearly fucking mentally disabled himself, he's an ableist. And this is normally where I would call up my nigga Clifford the Redneck. But this time there's no need to because these little niggas put the fucking beats on Xavier. And they did this because Xavier started hitting a weak ass dance that looked like my grandma trying to dance when her song from back in the day come on. It's supposed to be some sort of weak ass healing dance and he's trying to prove that he can fix Robbie's legs. Now Robbie's friends already looked annoyed when he started doing that weak ass dance. But where they draw the line at is a bird donkey nigga with a snake arm putting his hands on their friend's legs.
Get your hands off his leg, you perv.
Take that. Taste the pain. Take that. Taste the pain. It's cranberry sauce. Take that.
Sorry in advance to my nigga Clifford the Redneck, but the ass whooping that these teenagers gave to Xavier just hit different. They telling him to taste the pain and shit mid-fight, and then Robbie actually scoop up some of the pain and taste it and tells us that it's cranberry.
Hey, it's cranberry sauce. Take.
Robbie's friends walk off swaggy as hell after dropping bird donkey nigga, and Robbie tells him that he'll catch up later. Robbie offers to suture up Xavier's face after his friends put the beats on him, and Robbie is heavily into science because his dad runs a science hospital. But while Xavier is being grimy, snooping around his dad's office trying to eat pieces of heart, Robbie comes out of a secret room where he reveals that he's the one who actually does all of the work.
Okay, you caught me. It's all a trick. It's just strings and magnets, see? I do it all.
Pretty ingenious, kid.
Promise you won't tell him about all this? Daddy can't ever know about my lab.
So Robbie is some sort of weird super genius who has a crazy secret lab up under his dad's hospital. He's made some crazy shit like spreadable bread that's also self-eating. But by far one of the craziest things that Robbie Robbie is trying to make his life in a petri dish. Detective Shithead dips his fingers into the chemicals and tastes it and suggests that Robbie should add some coconut.
Needs coconut.
What?
Tastes a little bitter. We could use some coconut.
A coconut wouldn't work, but coconut, my artificial coconut spread might. That did it! I created life!
So Robbie adding his cocoa spread inadvertently actually creates life in his petri dish. And Xavier start hating cause he ain't never created shit but some garbage ass racket from a stupid ass Shaka Shuri. Nigga hating on a disabled kid's creation. And also don't think I forgot about you getting your ass beat by kids earlier too, nigga.
Oh yeah? One time I created something called a Thurrito. It's a burrito within a burrito, within the heart of that same burrito.
Xavier mad he didn't create life, so we just making up shit, cause we all know this bum ass nigga could never afford no burrito.
I just think this is pretty significant.
You're not better than me, okay? Just cause you created life.
It's honestly insane how hard Xavier starts hating just cause Robbie created life. It makes me feel like there might actually be a thinking process somewhere deep down inside of Xavier and he knows his life is useless. And even though he probably has no fucking idea what insecure means, I think he might be insecure. Xavier is being super rude to Robbie now and he don't want to be his friend anymore.
Don't talk down to me from down there. You are just as ugly on the inside as you are on the outside.
I feel I'm reasonably attractive.
Oh yeah? Stand up and say that to my face.
After he gets done degrading Robbie, Xavier walks out on him and leaves him alone. And I know that it's supposed to be funny, but I feel kinda bad for Robbie. He goes to his mom's grave after Xavier gets done degrading him. And while he's at his mom's grave, Xavier sees his dad going into the cake shop to get a cake. And Xavier decides he's gonna ruin Robbie's life even more and expose his secret lab to his dad. He tells his dad about the lab and then takes him there.
So Robbie was controlling everything. It's all lies. It's all just science. My life is a lie. They're all gonna laugh at me. I can't live like that. I can't live.
Listen, bro. Good hang.
The fact that his entire career was a lie causes Robbie's dad to go insane. Then he starts pouring gasoline all over himself while standing inside of the life that Robbie created. Xavier is with Robbie again, rubbing it in his face how he exposed him to his dad.
Just like you'll get over that, you need to move on from losing your father back there. You need closure.
Closure? The explosion hasn't even ended yet.
So Robbie's dad is turned into some kind of weird living explosion with a soul. And even though he technically didn't do it himself, I'm blaming Xavier for his death. Xavier remembers the kind of cake that Robbie's dad liked, so he fills up a car with him to try to lead him to the lake.
This'll lure him to the lake.
Does anyone know how to get to the lake? Does anyone know how to get to the lake? Do you know how to get to the lake? Do you know how to get to the lake? Does anyone know how to get to the lake? Does anyone know how to get to the lake?
This part of the episode confuses me because I have no idea where Xavier's trying to drive the yellow car.
Hey, does anyone know how to get to the lake? The lake. Do you know how to get to the lake? The lake. Do you know how to get to the lake? The lake.
Xavier actually takes the explosion to the lake, but the explosion just tanks the water. The explosion is finna smash him with a giant telephone pole and finally turn this nigga to a pack. And even after the way Xavier treated him earlier, Robbie comes to the rescue. He gives a speech that I won't say on YouTube, but he's all like, I understand now, Dad. What I did was wrong.
Come here and give me a hug, Dad. Me and believe. Sorry I had to do this, Dad.
So Robbie stabs the explosion and kills it, causing its soul to descend to the overworld. Xavier takes a bite out of his dad's heart like it's a fucking apple. Then the episode ends. So there you guys have it. Xavier the Renegade Angel is a spit-licking, computer virus-giving, forcing people to sit through his life story, assing, eating other people's snotting, peeping Tom ass, animal killer ass, kidnapper ass, motherly instinct and random children, super amphibian ass, breaking and entering murderer ass, ableist ass, hating on a disabled kid ass, got the beats put him on by some kid ass, took Robbie's last parent away ass, bird, donkey, snake arm having ass nigga. Fuck Xavier the Renegade Angel. He's a scumbag and he is sentenced to life in jail forever. Thank y'all for watching. This is my new series called Deranged Truth. I'll probably do more if this video does good. So yeah, it took a long time to make, so I hope y'all do enjoy. Please make sure to drop a sub down below and maybe become a channel member, and leave a comment on another character that I should do a Deranged Truth on. Peace out. Beats is by Racha.